Hi everyone, it's Sandy. Thank you for joining me. In my last video, I shared with you a paper craft haul of some fun papers that were gifted to me by my daughter Tanisha for Christmas. And she had gifted me a bunch of 6x8 paper pads and 12x12 papers. And as soon as I finished the video, I wanted to go straight into making some fun projects with the pretty papers. And so one of the projects that I was able to come up with was this project here. And it's an envelope style triple pocket insert. So you can use this to add all of your paper goodies or whatever you like to fit inside. And the papers I used were from the 6x8 paper pad, and this is one of the ones that I was gifted. So if you are in Australia or in Sydney, I know Tanisha purchased them from Spotlight here in Sydney because that's one of the only main craft stores that we can buy some papers. So you can purchase them from there. And the papers are just lovely and they're so fun to work with. They are single-sided. So I come up with this idea and just wanted to quickly whip something up and then share it with you, and I'll do a tutorial for you as well. So if you have 6x8 paper pads, this would be a fun project for you, or you can just cut down your papers to 6x8 and you can make these envelope style triple pocket inserts. I did use 3 pieces of 6x8 papers to create the whole project. So I'm going to show you what it looks like and then I'll do the tutorial. I did create a belly band to use as a closure, as this was one of the pieces that you need to cut out from one of the papers. So this strip was a leftover piece, so I just used that to create the closure. And I just did some simple embellishing to the cover. So let me just take this out. I used some twine to make the closure because the strip of paper wasn't long enough to create a belly band. So that's just the extra piece that I used, so I didn't waste any of the papers. And I did some simple embellishing here on the closure part, and I just added one of my embellishments that I made not too long ago. I think I did a project share and a process video on how I made these, and these were just some of the other ones that I made. And some of them had these little word sentiment dangles on the embellishment just to pretty it up a little bit. So I just went and grabbed one of my, I'm sorry, that one's not finished yet. I did just grab one from the pile that I've made and just added that to the front. So that's those. Just so I can show you, this is the other one. Just got to put it back together. So that's the other one here. That's another one. And all I've done was I just added another strip of paper and created a fishtail banner and glued it to the closure, and then I just added one of the completed embellishments to the top, and it just really looks pretty. Just gives it a bit of dimension to the cover. It opens up like that, and then on the, so this is the top pocket here, which I just showed that. So that's the top pocket, and then I just made this sort of note card, and this was the extra strip that I had to cut out from the 6x8 paper, so that way it could fit inside the pocket here for this note card. I was going to add some copying printing paper and folding the paper in half to create like a little booklet, but I never got around to doing that. But I just made this and folded into just sort of fold it this way and then made a closure here, and then I'll decide what I'll do with it later. But that I made to fit inside the back pocket here like that, and I just put the closure to the front and then it decorates that. So I'll just take that out. So that's that. And then at the back here is another pocket. I've just got a note card in here and another little folder that I made with a 4x6 paper. and then there's a tag in there. It's just a little pocket folder, really easy to make, and that was a good size to fit in the back pocket here. So there's 2 pockets so far. There is that pocket there, then you've got this pocket, and then this has a Velcro for the closure, and in here is another pocket. I made a little tag, or not a little tag, a tag, just so that it can fit inside the front pocket here, just to show you what can fit in there. And I just added an ephemera piece here to the front here, just to add a bit of colour to the cover. So that closes up like that for that pocket, and then you've got that pocket there and that pocket, and then that's the closure. So this is 1 6x8 paper. This part here is 1 whole 6x8 paper, and then the other 6x8 paper was to make the note card or booklet with the belly band. And I'm going to show you how to make the whole this whole complete envelope pocket with this as well. So let me show you how to make it. It's really easy. And so I've got my 3 pieces of 6x8 papers, and this is also from that same paper pad, and I'm just going to decide which one I'm going to use for the cover and which one I'm going to use for the pocket, the 3 pockets. So I've decided I'm going to use this one for the cover, which is this part here, and this one I'll use for the inside part. So I'll use this for the inside. Now it's got a direction here, so I've just got to make sure that it's not facing upside down when I make it. So I've just got to remind myself when I make the score lines. And then I've got this one here for the note card with the belly band, and we can do this one after. What we'll make first is we'll get the cover folded, scored, so that's ready, and that's this piece. And I'm going to lay it on the 8-inch side. I'll have it, I'll go down this way so that you can see the score lines. So what we're going to do first, on the 8-inch side, we're going to score at 1 3/4 of an inch. So it's 1 3/4 inches. Now this part here is the bottom part here, this one, and then the closure will be on that side. So the first score line was 1 3/4 inches and 6 inches. So they're the 2 score lines, 1 3/4 inches and 6 inches. And let's just fold that now, so that's all ready. Just going to fold that down and press, so that way you can see how it looks. So now that's the way it's going to go. That'll be your closure part, and this is going to be the bottom part of the cover. So you've got that idea. So let's put this to the side for now. So we've got that done, and we're going to work on the inside part now to make the triple pocket, 1, 2 and 3. So I've got this piece. My scoreboard is very dirty. I've got to clean it. It's got glue everywhere. All right, so what we'll do first, I'm going to have it facing up, so that way you can see the pattern of the direction that it's going. And we're going to go on the 6-inch side. We're going to score on both sides at 1/4 of an inch. So we're going to go 1/4 of an inch on one side all the way down. and also on this side 1/4 inch, so that's 5 3/4 inches. And then I'm going to turn this around to the right so that I've got the direction going down, and that's now on the 8-inch side. I'm going to score at 1 3/4 inches and 4 1/2 inch. So this part here is going to be this part at the back here. If you've got a non-directional pattern, you know, you can put it any which way. So I'll just say the score line again is 1 3/4 inches and 4 1/2 inches. And that's it for that score line. And then we'll work on the note card after. Let's just make the pocket first. Alright, so let's have a look here. I hope you can see my score line. Now you've got the score line that's here, that's a little bit not as high as this side. We're going to go over here and we're going to remove these 2 little corner pieces down here. So we're going to remove those. And I'm just going to go like that. And then I'm just going to cut that at an angle like that. And we're going to do the same on the other side. I'm just going to angle cut that, just makes it easier for later. And then we're going to come over here to this score line here. I'm just going to turn it this way. And we are just going to cut that in like a V shape and remove that. And do the same to this side. I'm just going to go here. So we're just doing a little V and removing that. And then just up here, we're just going to angle cut those little pieces on the side where the score line is. So I'm just going to show you. So that's how your pieces need to be cut out. I'm just going to turn it this way. Oh, before we do that, we're just going to fold both these score lines in, or the little side flaps. We're going to fold all 4 of them in. So I'm just going to flip it this way now so you can see. So we've got them all folded. Right, so what we've got next is we've got this score line here. I'm just going to fold this piece towards me where that score line is. Just do that. And then you've got this piece here with that score line. That's going to get folded to the front. And so that is how you want your paper to look. So I'm just going to show you. So where you've got the little notches that you've cut, just fold that back and then fold that to the front. But it's actually going to go this way. Okay, just so you could see. And I'm going to corner around these 2 corners. So that is how it's going to look, just so you could see. So I'm going to corner around these 2 pieces. That way you'll know this is the front. Right, so I'm going to grab the base or the cover that we've done the 2 score lines. And then this is going to get placed in like this. Just so you can see. And that's going to get folded inside. So that's going to be the closure. And then I'm going to corner around these 2 corners. And then we'll assemble everything. And what I've done here is I did create a notch just to decorate the pocket here. So you can create a notch if you wanted to do that, just to sort of decorate that part, but I won't do that. Or I might do it. I'll just go and grab my circle punch and create a notch there just to decorate that. I've got a 2.5 inch circle punch, but you can use whatever you like. I'm just going to keep that close so that I don't go past that fold. And I'm just going to go here. You can go in the middle, you can go anywhere you like. Use any circle punch that you have. So I'm just going to do that. So let's glue everything together now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add glue along here. And then also glue at the bottom. And then I'm just going to sort of center that and just sort of keeping it just above that score line, just so that you could fold this up and down. Just going to place it as in the center as I can. Once that's glued down, we just go and add glue to these two sides, and that will give us that middle pocket. So now we have two pockets done. We've got that top one at the back and we've got this one here, and I'm going to lift that up. This is not sitting straight. Just put that there. And now we're going to glue that to the front there. So I'm just going to add glue roughly about just halfway, just there, and about there. Oops. And then I'll bring this piece up and glue that to the front of the flaps. And then that will get closed like that, and that will get close to the front. How easy was that to make? Easy fold, easy cutting, not a lot of measuring, but it looks complicated but really easy. And then you can add your Velcro dot, you can use some washi tape, you can use whatever you like to keep this closed, or just leave it the way it is. And now we can make these extra pieces. This is optional, you don't have to add this to the project. I just wanted to make something to be able to fill it inside here. Just to give you an idea, and also decorates the inside really pretty as well. So let me give you the measurements for the note card. That's pretty much it for that, all done. And there is room in here to add, you can add a booklet or a little mini journal in there, some ephemera pieces in here once that's all glued down in there, and you've got another little spot there. Now to make the note card with the belly band, we're just going to make one card. And so we just, on the 6-inch side, we're just going to cut a 1-inch strip all the way down. So I'm just going to line it here. So I'll cut off one strip. So it's basically 5 inches by 8 inches. And then we've got this extra strip, but that's going to be the belly band. So we have 2 score lines. Well, actually, I've got to make a couple of score lines. Let's just grab it all. So for the note card, we are going to score. I'm going to face this way, I think. I'll just use this. What was it? 3 1/4 inches. So it's 3 1/4 of an inch. Let's double check. Yeah. I've forgotten my own measurements because I only made this once. 3/4 of an inch, and 7 inches. So that's all for that scoring, 3 1/4 of an inch and 7 inches. And then with this strip, we're just going to make 2 score lines on both sides at 1/2 inch on each end. So go 1/2 inch there and 1/2 inch on the other side. And I'm just going to simply fold this over where the score lines are. And folding the other one over. Oops. So that's that part, and I'm just going to corner around these 2 corners. And then you can add your own papers or pages to create a booklet. If you wanted to do that, I'm just going to leave this as is, and then I'm just going to place that in here. And that can just get tucked in there like that, and it fits perfectly inside. And then we've got this piece, and where we've made those score lines, I'm just going to fold them in. I did that so that it keeps the ends nice and strong when we create a little hole punch, just to give it extra strength so that the paper doesn't tear. So I'm just going to glue them back in, so like that. And I'm just going to sort of roughly about halfway in the center like that. I'm just going to bring this up, just a gentle fold, and then the same with this one, just to gives me a guide. So if I'm happy there, and I'm just going to bring these 2 together so I can have even holes placed. I'll take that back out, so now I've got even spaced holes, and then you just bring that in and then add your string or trim or ribbon to create the closure. Have fun decorating your cover. You can decorate here, and there's a lot more decorating. You can even add another, you could even use this if you wanted to create another pocket in the front here. If you wanted to make a little pocket, and just trim it down to size and glue the 3 sides down, and you've got another little tuck pocket in the front. So that's another option there for you. But just another little project. I just wanted to have fun playing with my papers. I've got some more projects in my ideas that I want to make with the 6x8 papers. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Just another simple project to get you started in the year for some paper crafting, and I'll see you all soon in my next video. Bye for now.